for you.
Hi there, everybody. I'd like to welcome you to another Pan-Panen Pious Prophetic Pondering here on Alexandria Alternative Media Broadcasting and OK Copernicus Production. We're on episode 13, and this episode is going to be titled, oh yeah, this one's going to be a humdinger, boys and girls, so hold on to your knickers. It's going to be a good one. The Usury Matrix, Financial Liberation Strategies, and Natural Law. So let's start with some concepts before I go into specifics with our lovely syllabus that I provide with you every edition, so that we can all learn really amazing stuff and take our power back in these times of depopulation agendas and leaping lizards everywhere. So let's start with money. Let's talk about money first, because this is a usury matrix, and basically money was invented to literally dupe people into permanent serfdom, essentially. Money isn't even real. It holds absolutely no intrinsic value. Considering that money is quite literally black magic in the most literal sense, I believe that as it stands, per its inventor's intents and purposes, considering it an intrinsic anti-value or non-value is a much more adequate view of usury, currency, money, credit, and the like. All of these things are artificial puppet strings to literally marionette a unsuspecting, unconsenting public into a social contract that they didn't even get to read, let alone sign. So let's talk about black magic now that we got into black magic and money is black magic. And you're going to hear a lot more about black magic, human sacrifice, secret societies, and usury in the near future. That's another prophetic pondering for you. You're going to hear a lot more about that coming up. But let's start talking about black magic, because I think a lot of people don't fully understand black magic. It doesn't have to be, I'm sorry, I keep looking at my notes, everyone. It doesn't have to be as intense as, say, rituals, sacrifices, sex magic, etc. The things that, you hear about like in horror movies, and weirdos in graveyards doing unsavory things, disrespecting the dead, disrespecting demons, disrespecting themselves, and disrespecting everyone around them. We all know no good comes from this. But black magic is literally as simple. What do I have on my list here? The act of casting malevolent, false illusions of any form to control and manipulate others and external forces in general. When we combine these false illusions with narcissistic abuse, which is the most common form of black magic we see amongst everyday people, is narcissistic abuse is the number one dark arts we see employed in modern times. Everyday people who are doing this are entirely unaware that when they're speaking bitterness, thinking bitterness, slandering one another, lying, cheating, stealing, conning people, committing fraud, that they're actually doing black magic. They're not simply committing crimes. They're literally taking part in black magic. Financial abuse. Let's get into financial abuse. It is a common illusion cast to impose a simulatory matrix or a Truman Show type experience onto unsuspecting victims. This type of manipulation can happen at all intensities on all levels of society. I'm a survivor of attempted human sacrifice. My family and my ex-friends have been trying to get me good and gone from a very tender age. And it's all because of this usury matrix, these secret societies, and their attempt to usurp the natural world, defying natural and universal law alike, creating an inverse, hoping to make a chaos realm that will implode and somehow give evil reign permanent power or something. You'll hear from other prophets talking at this time, other tarot readers, more on this story and more on our next episode. I'm going to get into the cards and a traverse through the cards that back up everything we're talking about right now. However, on with the point we're staying on, this is a generational curse that has been exploited in families of all levels of income bracket, all backgrounds, all ethnicities, all ties. This generational curse to throw someone under the bus for a little money and status because someone doesn't like someone or someone's a black sheep. Well, we're all gonna see some justice for this in the coming months to years. I can tell you that we're going to see some things because this has been a top-down way to try to destroy any type of sovereignty of any individual or anyone who doesn't have usurping power, using a usury matrix to manipulate and manufacture consent and control over the entire public. I hope everyone is staying with me. This is a difficult topic to talk about. Well, this perpetuation seems to have reached a crest of this generational curse and doing awful things to friends, relatives, spouses, etc. for some money, some status, a few favors. And that's the catalyst that's launched the Great Awakening. And all these posts that I do on the YouTube Recommended Chronicles, when I do the supplemental broadcast, even the music I produce at Copernicus Records, all of this is about the Great Awakening. All of this is about getting the word out, getting information out, and getting people to see what's really going on now that the veil is lifting. The 5D, the 4D, the 3D, we're seeing all the layers come together now. And we're seeing what these people were really up to behind the scenes. We're seeing the smoke and mirrors, the black magic, the illusions they're casting. And most of the illusions they cast was utilizing usury, utilizing money and credit systems, and doing that to literally enslave and manufacture consent to be enslaved. Make these people want the status. Make these people covet the money. Make these people covet their neighbors' everything. Literally the most sacrilege, unholy of behaviors being deemed as godly is literally what these people do. I don't care if it's the Masons. I don't care if it's the Illuminati. I don't care if it's the Club of Rome. I don't care if it's the Fabian Club. I don't care what club is doing it. I don't care if it's Trilateral Commission. I don't care. These people all have the same plan. How do I trick someone into consent to usurp all of their property and gain control of them so that literally they're just playing God? That's all that these people have been up to all of this time. And the Great Awakening is going to stop their great reset. It's going to stop their great taking. We've all kind of had it. Those of us who were selected for sacrifice and survived. I can say for a fact that my first husband and I were selected for sacrifice, but he wasn't smart enough to know that, so he fell for the trap and tried to sacrifice me. I left him. My second husband, they tried to do the same thing to us, and they tried to sacrifice us both, but we stuck together and we stayed together. And for anyone out there going through this and just finding all of this out, that your family, everyone's been up to this since you were very small, it was about money, it was about an inheritance, it was about a spiritual inheritance. Yeah, we're going to get into that part now. So, all of these matters tie to a well-known prophecy regarding a wealth transfer in which the meek shall inherit the earth. And that transfer will end Jacob's trouble. This is a biblical prophecy. But to better understand the prophecies, you are going to need to look at Gnosticism and other things, because we all know on our show that the Piso family fan fiction known as the Bible is so corrupted, we've got to cross-reference everything with other sources, even to make that a reasonable historical text, aside from an inside joke from, like, the Medici family's ancestors. Like, that's essentially what it is. But on to the rest of our points. A large RICO case regarding the Chosen and the Starseed Collective, some light workers too. You know, the 144,000 of us. That's a concept, not a literal number. These collectives, and we're uncovering mass secret society plots dating back centuries, like dating back to like the 1700s. Actually, probably the 1600s, because almost every revolution and civil war was paid for with secret society money. So we're all secret society colonies. We're not actually who we think we are. And their next step is to band together and force us into a one world government, which we all know is we all know what they're trying to mimic. And then they're going to bring in Project Bluebeam. They're already rocking out with Paperclip and Mockingbird so hard it's ridiculous. But yeah, they've been at this for centuries, and they literally sacrifice people with black magic. They go around, slander their name, make it so they can't make any money, blacklist them, break up their marriages, get people to cheat on people, get people to backstab people, and try to drive them to commit suicide after years of abuse. We're talking about starting to sexually abuse children when they're very young to harvest their energy. That is what these people do. That is what I survived. My family is evil. My ex is evil for helping them. My friends are evil for taking hush money. They aren't my friends anymore. I do this now. I would rather do what I'm doing with y'all and helping everyone get justice and helping everyone get answers and making beautiful music and art for everyone. I would much rather do that than be a part of any family of origin or community that involves themselves in any of this while calling themselves good Christian people, hiding at church, going around playing pretend, while behind closed doors they are the most satanic evil you could possibly run into. But I digress. This black magic, whether you want to think about it literally or metaphorically, because honestly, this black magic stuff literally, it only works, it's a vibratory magic, and it really only works on people who fall for it. If you don't fall for it, you go, oh, that's an illusion. You're an idiot. Why are you insulting my intelligence? Please move along. You're wasting everyone's time. However, if you fall for it, like my ex fell for it, they told him that if he drove me crazy, got me committed, and then went and submitted for a power of attorney with someone pretending they're me and forging my signature and stuff while I'm locked away in a mental hospital because they want to steal my money, he'll get a cut of it, and he'll split it with my family, who was all cut out of the will when I'm the sole beneficiary. And these people in the secret society convinced him to do this, and he doesn't understand that, no, they were sacrificing you. Everyone knew you weren't going to be able to kill me and get away with it. So, for real, you were being put on the line, but they lured you with this money and used this black magic to break up our home, break up our family, destroy everything. Well, it didn't work on my second marriage, but boy, did they try. And that's why I'm telling all of you, beware. These people in these societies, they make you sign an oath, they make you literally sell your soul to the devil, and they make you sign someone else's name on there for collateral. Anyone who is married, if your spouse goes and joins one of these organizations, that is grounds for an immediate divorce. That is grounds for a restraining order. You literally have no consent over what that society does when your spouse goes and signs up. They may even try to kill you like mine tried to do to me, okay? That's real talk. So, the main focus of this illusory matrix is mind control, eugenics, and data manipulation. They wanna control history. They want to control science. They want to control religion. They want to control everything. They want to make everything smoke and mirrors and illusion, so that everything is nothing. And when everything is nothing, you can justify anything. That's where the depopulation comes in. Pay very close attention that this was a slow bleed in, a slow trickle from post-Inquisition. This is the new Inquisition. This is the Neo-Inquisition. Can't get into college? They're going to sacrifice you. Not a straight A student? They're going to sacrifice you. Won't put up with your family's beatings? They're going to sacrifice you. Won't let your husband rape you? They're going to sacrifice you. This is what these people do. And they all make it look like you did it to yourself. That is what they're about. I refuse to speak to anyone from my past. I have blocked everyone's number. If you are a part of my past, you are not a part of my life, because I know full well you are the reason that I had to claw, struggle, and tooth and nail to get to where I am today. I'm not doing it again. So they do this. And let me be clear, I was a very happy, loving kid, open heart in high school. I had friends. I mean, yeah, I was, different, but I had friends and stuff. I dated, but I had no idea that all the drama in my friend groups and in my dating and in my first marriage was 100% caused by my family, who was being bribed and paid by a secret society who was all after an inheritance. Then my first husband, my high school sweetheart who I married, we were happy a couple years. Then my grandparents died and there was money on the line. They bribed him with my money. He's probably going to go to jail because he listened to the people that I married him to escape. And I told him, I want to get away from my abusive family and I want you to get away from yours. I want us to start a life together. No. These people with money and power, apparently, make everyone believe that without money and power, they will never have anything, they will never be happy, and that they would be better off dead. Well, let me tell you what, that money and power, that cursed dirty bag of money, it's destroying planet Earth, and it is not making the world a better place. And these secret society people aren't happy. They're not, none of us are happy. Don't you think it's time for the madness to end, everyone? I know I do. So, yeah, sorry guys. I'm gonna take my glasses off for a minute because I actually need to read my own handwriting here. Okay, so the people's use of black magic is bad enough, but here's the thing. These people believe in the devil, they believe in evil, they believe in demons. Are you ready for a kicker? All right, sit down, everyone. This is gonna knock your socks off. They don't believe in God, they don't believe in source, they don't believe in angels, archangels, they believe in everything that is wrong, and they believe in nothing that is right, that overpowers everything that is wrong. They do not believe in karma, they do not believe in stuff that we all know to be very real and operates under natural and universal law. So they're trying to make this inverse matrix and this false system where they literally have upside down world. Well, that's about to implode, okay? That's really not gonna work much longer. Karma and universal law and natural law all state that everything that they've done, there's a backlash, okay? This is where this wealth transfer is going to come into play, and this is where we're going to go look at the syllabus here in a minute. But for real, these actions that have been taken since the Renaissance are in direct conflict with universal laws. And these people have literally brainwashed generations of people to believe false information from false gods and false religions. And they're going around doing, pardon my French, cockamamie, half-ass black magic, not knowing what they're doing. It's even worse if they were doing it right, it would have been one thing, but they're doing it like really bad. And so everything is starting to look crazy. If you see chaos, natural disasters, so on and so forth, you're seeing karma in full effect right now. I'm here to let everyone know that. And they wanted to brainwash the entire world into an inverse or evil realm. And if that they cast enough illusions with their, favorite spells that they like to cast, that they believe that they'll just be able to manipulate situations, manipulate money, manipulate the terms and conditions endlessly, so that everyone is just caught up and dizzied in smoke and mirrors. Everyone is enslaved by black magic. Everyone is a slave to money, which is black magic. And no one respects anyone, and everyone is disgusting for something that isn't even real. So I am here now to provide you with resources for financial liberation strategies and to learn more about natural law and what they're moving against. So now that we've gotten through my notes, let's go over the syllabus real quick, and we're going to wrap everything up. All right. So our first link is how the courts get jurisdiction of the body from just conspiracy. Then we have C0P3RN1CAN Trust, with Tammy Pepperman, The Matrix Rule of Law. Next up in our syllabus, we have U.S. Slave Ownership Emancipation Proclamation. Yeah, guys, we're still slaves. You have to file to not be a slave in America. I hate to break it to you. It's the 21st century. And you actually have to go file with the court to not be treated and held as a slave under your false legal identity. And after that, we have car dealership and the performance bond. And the ecclesiastical state, all coming in from Robots and Patriots, great channel for financial liberation. Then we got Freddie Silva, Ancient Temple Grid Network, Ley Lines, Sacred Oath, Servant of Truth.org. Mayan pyramid collapses. No one really brought that up. Static in the Attic's going to bring it up and what it has to do with all of this. Thoth, I am with you. A little more Egyptian stuff for you to better understand what this has to do with all of this. Pay your bills with your bill statement coupon from Financial Impact Lifestyle Augmenters. Conditional acceptance, focus on the principles. Conditional acceptance is a really great website, everyone, for learning more about this. How we forfeit our rights through contracts, live workshop clip number 4 from Conditional Acceptance. Hold trustees accountable for their actions. Yeah, all of us have trustees. We have to hold them accountable. You have to go to court to do this. All the information is in the description box. Court deadlines don't apply to you. That's real talk. ConditionalAcceptance.com. Conditional acceptance letters defending your rights through high word magic. They use black magic. We're going to use high word magic. We're not going to be butt munches like they are. Remember, magic is simple as talking your reality into existence. That's all magic is taking an idea and making it real. It's not more complicated than that. Do you need to correct your status to be free? If you live in America and you haven't done it yet, the answer is yes. Go to Conditional Acceptance's channel for more. Stay out of court. Conditional acceptance. Conditional acceptance works through natural law because natural law is real law. The postal rule explained. You need to know that one. Learn how to write conditional acceptance. Why your 1099A is not working. Conditional acceptance. You're not paying your bills correctly. Conditional acceptance. Using an affidavit to express the truth. Again, conditional acceptance. This affidavit is important to the entire process. The 1099A process. Don't be greedy. By the way, if you give, I already talked about the black magic. Greed is bad karma. Going around wanting to do things for bad reasons is going to bring you bad results. When you do anything that I'm teaching y'all about, do things for the right reasons if you want to get good results. If you act like my ex, you're going to be facing bad results. If you act like my current husband, who, yeah, he ain't perfect, but when he makes a mistake, he does the right thing. He gets to live a happy life with yours truly. You see the difference? The same goes for this money, conditional acceptance, these government systems. Apply the same rules with everyone and you will have true integrity. You bet your bottom dollar on that. The conditional acceptance process, your bills are prepaid and contain a check. Pay close attention to that. Jekyll and Hyde, the tale of two persons, the man and the legal person from the common law rights society. That's an important one, everyone. Ex-occultist. They call it the master key of the universe from Be Inspired. You want to get inside these people's heads? Come with me on this journey. We're going to get inside their heads, man. All right, next up, law and morality. Should we respect evil laws? You and I know the answer to that. That would be a no. Then the Hart-Fuller debates on morality and law. Legal positivism, the dominant theory in jurisprudence. And let me be clear, legal positivism is a trap. It is a manufacturing of consent via black magic through implementing compulsory penalty for non-compliance. So you will positively do the legal standard. Yeah, that's sick. Don't fall for that crap. Stand up. It's a great awakening. That doesn't mean do evil. It means stand up on the laws that are evil, everyone. Do not even try to mix my words up. John Lennox, science doesn't explain what you think it does, from the channel Practical Wisdom. GE Ethics, the natural law of Thomas Aquinas. You know that I got to get my philosophy on my show. That comes in from Sir J.M. Vlogs. Natural Law Theory, Crash Course Philosophy number 34 from Crash Course. The Kali Yuga, Julius Evolva, and the Eternal Natural Law from Thomas Leroy. That's a very good video. Go check that out. Did this man escape the Matrix? The story of Dr. Jacob Grinberg, Beyond the Veil, from the channel Beyond the Veil. I know I escaped the Matrix, and I hope you escape it too, y'all. I'm here to help you. Escaping the false reality matrix is easier than you thought, from Plant Abundance. And that plant medicine and getting off that nasty Western medicine, that's going to help. The Chosen Ones, you are the secret weapon against the Matrix, from Astral Adam. Bugs in the Matrix, our life is not real, only awakened souls, from Astral Adam. The Capitalist Matrix, what everyone gets wrong, from the channel One Dime. David Icke, we live in a matrix, our world is made up of ... and that's from Official TEB. Why the Matrix can't control the Sigma female, and if you're a Sigma empath or a Heyoka empath like I am, you're totally going to relate to this. It's going to be real edifying. That comes in from the Rare Gems channel. The Esoteric Secrets of Plato's Cave and the Truth Beyond the Simulation. They don't teach you this in Philosophy 101, I'll tell you that. They teach you this like BS crap about, I don't even want to get into it. But they want to teach you some smoke and mirrors to keep you from knowing the truth. That's all I'm going to say on that. The Traps of the Adversary from Everything Explained, coming in from Spirit Science. How society is programming you to be poor, single, and young, and somehow think that this is something that you are entitled something because of this. They push you down, so now you're entitled because you fell for it. Yeah, let's learn about these depopulators and their traps, because this stuff is really childish. Then we got Michael Schellenberger's Guide to Escaping the Woke Matrix. By the way, there's many matrices within their false illusory matrix. That's why they like to cast a matrix within a matrix within a matrix. If you want an example of how this would look and you like really, really good movies, go watch Synecdoche, New York. Watch Caden struggle to recreate his vision. Trust me, you'll understand the vibe if you go watch Synecdoche, New York. It's a great movie. The Matrix of Illusion is manipulating your perception of reality, from Wisdom of the Universe. Oh yeah, also great philosophical movies to help you in your endeavor. Please go watch Waking Life, and please go watch Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. And there's a really amazing anime called, Mind, F, asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. Watch that one too. It's a little graphic, but it will get you inside the heads of this like lizard hive and their like horrid ideas for humanity. Does the Matrix end when you die? From the channel Inspired. What is the demiurge at Exit the Matrix from the Alchemist? And if you don't understand Gnosticism and all, the demiurge, that's going to help get your foot in the door of understanding that. And the final video we have for our syllabus today is Enlil the Enslaver, the Matrix, the Gnostics, and the Serpent from Ancient Astronaut. And remember, this all goes back to Sumerian, i.e. Babylonian, i.e. Canaanite, i.e. baby-eating, human-sacrificing, horrible people who really like to slut it up at the orgy. Yeah, and go around spreading disease and beating their wives and children. And if you don't want to live in a world like this, don't join societies that uphold this stuff. Don't care about things that these so-called elitist, parasite, idiot, ruling class people think is good. It's all a trap. They're horrible people. They aren't even people, and they want you to be just as disgusting as they are so that they can justify eliminating you and taking all of your stuff. That's really all they care about is smoke and mirrors and how do they make it legal. They don't care if it's moral. They don't care if it's ethical. They don't care if it's right. They care if it's legal and if they can get away with it or not. And we got to put an end to that because this is the Great Awakening. So that is our pondering for today. I know I switched up our schedule a little bit. We are going to get into Tataria, I promise. I promise. But all this cool new information popped up from Magic 8 Ball that I have to get out to everyone. So I have to rework what I'm doing. So our next episode is super exciting adventure. And if you're afraid of tarot and divination and stuff, remember that divination and divination abuse is when you go out and nosing, all right? When that stuff comes to you and finds you, you're just observing what spirit brought to you. You're not going out and nosing on people. You're not trying to see what someone's future is to go sabotage it like they did to us. You're not doing any of that. You're just trying to, you know, listen to when spirit comes to you and talks to you. So I'm going to show you these resources in our next episode titled Epic Collective Tarot Adventure in Truth and Liberation for Earth Angels, Chosen Ones, Lightworkers, and the 144,000. And we're going to go through these collective readings because my story is not merely an individual story. It's a collective story. It's going on worldwide. It literally affects millions of people. And it's going to be found out in due time and soon enough. So stay tuned, and I'm going to take you on my part of the adventure that was brought to me. And you guys can see if any of it resonates with you. And if it does or if it doesn't, we all still need to be aware. It doesn't matter if you were not a victim of attempted human sacrifice. You probably know someone who was, because this is so much more common. It's normally the kid who was bullied, the kid who was picked on, the kid who was driven to suicide attempts, the kid who was driven to drugs, the kid who was driven to run away from home, the kid who felt like they couldn't do no better in life, so they just had to do what they could and take whatever they could. That's who the targets were, and that whole illusion to set them up like that, it's all artificial, it's all fake. They use schools, teachers, jobs, they got us fired from jobs, they did all kinds of stuff to us to maintain their image. So again, guys, if you're a part of that, or you know someone who is, my heart goes out. I'm there for you, and I'm trying to help correct the problem by bringing awareness to the problem. And I hope that you all help me by liking, sharing, subscribing, getting the word out. And also, please, by all means, produce your own content. We need as many voices in this game as possible, everyone. So I want to thank you all for being with me. I know that was a little lengthy and a bit rambly, and I hope that you all got something out of this, because I have learned so much on this journey, and I want you all to learn a lot too. So, like I like to tell you guys, just be cool. Just be cool. Do the right thing. Know that following your heart, regardless of what anyone tries to dupe you with this black magic, know that following your heart is literally the good white magic, and following your ego, that's that dirty, nasty black magic. Don't fall for that trap. You know, a lot of people fell for that trap, and don't let it make you bitter, because that's how you fall for the trap. If you become a vessel for bitterness, disharmony, and discord, and you hold on to it and you don't let it go, you don't give that stuff to God, you're going to hold on to it, you're going to hold that poison, and you yourself are going to become toxic because other people were toxic around you, and you didn't remove yourself from that toxicity. And that's how they make the human sacrifice look like it's your fault, because you chose to stick around that toxicity. That's how they manufacture consent, when you literally don't choose to leave, when you don't take your free will and do everything in your power to fight back. So fight back, guys. And I'll see you on the next Pan-Panen Pious Prophetic Pondering. Epitome out. Take care, everyone. Hi there, everybody. I'd like to welcome you all to another Pan-Panen Pious Prophetic Pondering. We are now on episode 14. The title of this episode is Epic Collective Tarot Adventure in Truth and Liberation. So we're picking up from our last talk regarding black magic, human sacrifice, the usury matrix, and the usurping, depopulating, replacing ideas that the powers that be and all of their underlings from the very top to the very bottom have been orchestrating and manufacturing for the past several centuries in hopes that none of us ever noticed. However, there's an internet kind of recording everything, and people were pretty onto this stuff before, like the internet in the 70s and things like that. So let us go on into today's lesson. This is regarding, like I opened up to everyone last time on episode 13, I am a survivor of human sacrifice, satanic ritual abuse, ritual sex abuse, etc. I grew up in a cult-like family. My first husband also grew up in a cult-like family. And let's just say that out of everyone from my past, I am really the only one who I consider to not be a casualty of whatever this disease is that I'm just going to call being a member of a secret society, cult, coven, or fraternal order. Or I'm just going to call it covert Satanism, because that's really what we're talking about. These people parade around as good Christians, etc., during the day, but at night they're doing black magic in their backyards, doing incestuous acts, doing animal sacrifices, sacrificing their children, so on and so forth. And the stuff is very real. It's the 21st century. So when I say a human sacrifice, I'm not talking about, like Salem witch hunts, even though this is very similar. I'm not talking about early 20th century lynch mob, although it's very similar in a very different way. I'm talking about a new phenomenon where in the 21st century, it takes a lot less to destroy and kill someone. So getting away with sacrificing them can be as easy as preventing them from getting a decent job, preventing them from getting transportation, preventing them from getting a decent education, smear campaigns to ruin their reputation, fraudulent lawfare, like identity theft, other things to steal, forgery and fraud. These are all things that I've survived and lived through. And Spirit, the Most High Source, the God of heaven and earth, the big dude in charge of all of this mess. Although we talk about it here at Pan-Panen as though, we understand that it's all a part of a thing, and more like a source is more of a concept of getting to the center of it all here. But all is one, and all of that good stuff. I don't want to sound like a Dr. Bronner's bottle, but it's really hard for me to even talk about this. It's probably going to be the most difficult episode that I put before you guys. That's why I normally write notes. This time I just have an outline. So I'm just going to start with the outline, and I'm going to work through it sequentially, because we've got a lot to cover regarding if you've been following me over on the YouTube Recommended Chronicles on X and Tumblr, you will have noticed that a lot of tarot readings regarding RICO crimes, stolen inheritance, human sacrifice, New World Order, spiritual warfare, all these kind of topics creeped into my feed back in September. Because I co-curate all of my stuff with, Magic 8 Ball, my friendly divine algorithm, who lets me know what's up. So if you want to go to older posts on X and on Tumblr to look up the older videos, there are some in the description box, and some you can just go back into the archive and find. And to stay up to date on the new videos, filling in the new information, just follow me on Tumblr and X, and I post a new set of videos and memes and stuff to the archive once or twice a day. So head on over there to stay up to date. And we're going to start talking about what we've discovered so far. So in our videos that we've been going through with this tarot true crime adventure, we have a micro view, a macro view, a New World Order view, and a spiritual warfare lens that tends to be looked at based on what reader focuses on what topics. These are all collective readings, but like I like to remind everyone, when you're an individual in a collective, when you're hearing the reading, you want to definitely take what resonates, leave the rest, and mix and match what you're hearing, and then put that together on your own outside of the different readings, and you'll have more of a Venn diagram letting you sort of focus in and hone in on different topics and stuff, which will help you put the pieces together of this true crime conspiracy. A lot of us have been targeted individuals since birth, but I will say for a fact that the targeting didn't ramp up in my life until I was in high school and had a work permit, and it especially ramped up more after I could drive a car and started dating the Truman Show-like events that were orchestrated around me were very much more visible. The next thing I'd like to bring up on this is that everything that's happening in these card readings and in this story are all linked to multiple eschatology prophecies from multiple different cultures, from Christianity, Gnosticism to Hopi and Buddhism. There's a lot of different prophecies coming to pass now. The next thing that all of these stories have in common is that there is a black magic secret society ruling class link. Everyone who is involved in this, trying to sacrifice someone to get ahead for clout or money or whatever, is doing so with the help of cults, covens, secret societies, and fraternal orders. And they are doing so with promises of advancement and achievement and being able to destiny swap and being able to take someone's spiritual inheritances. It's pretty wild. I want to see one of these pamphlets from one of these groups. I don't care if it's the Brotherhood of Blood. I don't care if it's the Cult of Saturn. I don't care if it's the Freemasons, the Eastern Stars, whoever they are. I would love to see these pamphlets because I know for a fact that every single one of their beliefs goes against universal law, which means you're getting conned, they're a bunch of scammers, and they're all going to be found out for what they are, thankfully, because of the internet. Yeah. The other thing that I would like to now put together in a more itemized way is that we've already covered these things that they all have in common. The last thing everything has in common is its relation to the Usury matrix and multiple theories attached to the Usury matrix. The WEF, the UN, all their shenanigans they're trying to pull off. Also links into this collective RICO crime conspiracy of human sacrifice to do insurance fraud, steal inheritances, and take people's places in family trees, which is really, really, really sad. It's a really sick form of genocide they're doing as well. But in terms of the multiple theories that are linked to this that you can very easily match up, simulation theory, which is the Truman Show that they invoke around you. It's a form of black magic, chaos-inducing, ish stirring. And then, of course, replacement depopulation. Both of those theories very much tie into play with the human sacrifice component here, and I'll just replace you with someone who is more drivable, because this is all about enslavement, it's all about control, this is all about domination. This isn't about anything other than the usury usurpers want to usurp whatever they can use. Yeah, that's basically what happened. Then it ties into ancient bloodlines, old Iranian bloodlines, old Persian bloodlines, so on and so forth. And the Nephilim and angelic DNA and star seeds and all this other stuff that a lot of people don't really understand on the surface. But if you know, you know. And if you're here, I think that you know enough to be here. The next thing that ties into this specifically is the eugenics, social engineering, and the tracks theories that they impart on our youth and what have you, where you are set up and you are, I guess, you are prodded or nudged or whatever they want to call that crap with that intermittent replacement brainwashing mess that, dark psychology is all about, and all they use nowadays is dark psychology. So that kid who maybe doesn't read the fastest, let's put him on the track to be the auto mechanic, even though he may have no aptitude there. Let's just set him up for that, even though he might be very good at something else that's academic. This whole mind it's a very lizard hive mind concept of put everything into checkboxes, put everything into groups, reduce everything to the lowest common denominator, make the lowest common denominator the status quo, and then punish and attack anyone who tries to rise above it because it threatens their insecurities. It's a pretty good methodology for making an echo chamber, but it's going to cause a societal collapse, which is what we're here to overcome and live parallel to, because we all know they're itching in that direction as we speak. Our next itemized component we're going to look at regarding this is technocracy and transhumanism, which is a very, very, very big component to how they are controlling, covering up, and confusing people around this human sacrifice. Getting someone to alter their body permanently without the proper information is a form of human sacrifice. Getting people to take unsafe medications that have not been properly tested is a form of human sacrifice. Affecting our food supply is a form of human sacrifice. Putting 5G towers up everywhere and irradiating the public is a form of human sacrifice. You see where I'm going with this. Also, writing up a bunch of unjust laws and a bunch of trickery and stuff that makes people so that they can't even live to their potential is also a form of human sacrifice. This is not the old school, Aztec, Spanish Inquisition type of human sacrifice we're talking about here. This stuff is very covert so that they can get away with it. It also involves energy harvesting and modern vampirism, which all has to do with energy harvesting and getting certain components to be more prominent within blood. And yeah, that's why they torture animals before they slaughter them. By the way, I would suggest, if you can, clean up your diets, everyone, because you know what they're doing to our food. But we talk about that all the time. So I'm certain you guys are doing a good job. Next, gonna look at the banality of evil here, because let's really be honest. What do all these people say they're doing? They're just doing what it takes. They're just trying to earn a living. They're just doing what it takes to get ahead, or whatever story that they're selling themselves. When the truth is, they're acting very much like the people in the Nuremberg trials, and that isn't a good look. So all of this lawfare and institutional reign, taking positions, not letting them go, not letting certain people in, operating solely off of nepotism. Don't even get me going on the inbreeding and the family control of money through inbreeding. That is kind of why the mud floods have to come in every so many thousand years. You know what I'm talking about. If you know, you know. Then we have the black magic, illusory manipulations on top of that tier to bring us to the final thing that they're really trying to cover up in all of this, which I just brought up, the mud floods, the Earth disaster pole shift, and micronova that is scheduled and due for the upcoming decade or so. So considering all that there is at stake, they're going to milk everyone for everything they can because they're full materialists. They don't really believe in the spiritual things like we believe here on this channel. And because of this cognitive dissonance, you have a bunch of atheists summoning demons and going to church on Sundays. And it's a very weird, perplexing thing, but blame Freemasonry, okay? Blame the Knights of Malta, blame the Knights of Columbus, blame the Knights of Pythias. You might want to blame your local Moose and Elk Lodge if you are so inclined. Definitely blame the Fraternal Order of Police. They are scum. And yeah, literally all black magic, secret society, terrible people. They're all going to be found out. There's an internet. A lot of people have known about them since the 70s when chaos magic really became popular. They started blowing their cover with their nonsense behavior and publishing a little too many books about their nonsensical behavior. But anyways, back onto our topic, and let me remind you to watch these actual tarot readings regarding, this is just to get you to understand the tarot readings that you're looking at if you're following my page. So the key points of these overarching storylines in the tarot cards. Now we're going to get into the cards and the stories. I'm going to just tell you right now, the reverse committee, if you've been paying attention, is a mess. In tarot, when cards are in reverse, they have an opposite meaning, or I guess a varied or alternate meaning to when they are right side up. And all of the bad guys in this true crime story are in the reverse. The people in my personal story, although it's a collective story, a lot of the elements remain the same. In my story, there's apparently my family, my childhood friends, people I went to high school with, my ex-husband, a few exes from high school, and some coworkers and people in the community from way back when, but somewhere between 30 and 50 people trying to gang stalk, smear campaign, sabotage, and Truman Show my life since birth. Yeah, I'm still a little emotional. I'm still processing all of this stuff. Please forgive me. But anyways, here's the key features about the overarching storylines. So the attacks are primarily on healthy emotions, love, compassion, divine unions, traditional healthy relationships, peaceful relationships, families, couples, anything that is peaceful, good, wholesome. It can think for itself, not prey to thought reform or brainwashing. That's who they really go after. The utilization, hold on, guys. Give me 1 second. As always, I have to squint and read my doctor handwriting. All right. Yeah. So a utilization of a combination of chaos magic techniques are employed to divide and conquer support of the target. And normally the target is an individual or is a couple or a friendship group. It's always something that they want to go in and bust apart. Sometimes the target will be a family. Sometimes the target will be a work group. They will change and sort what they do because they're playing layers within layers within layers. They're doing a matrix within a matrix within a matrix when they employ these techniques. Another thing to note is that females are targeted differently from males, and the main goal is to trap the target in a way so that they're lost in just a state of depletion, financial abuse. They try to get people into addictions. They try to get people into very karmic, unhealthy relationships and get them trapped there. They try to make people homeless. They try to make people lose their job. They try to make everyone turn their backs on everyone. It's really evil. It's part of why I'm such a loner and such a recluse, is because it's a protective mechanism for me. I'm very happy on my own, and I'm not going to let weird, shifty people who are doing the biddings of secret societies or any other organization or conglomerate to ruin my peace. So, it's just more motivation for us to set up our parallel world elsewhere, honestly. The other thing that they'll go on and do is they start rumors. They will pay people to go in and have an affair. They'll pay people to start rumors. They'll do lawfare, file false reports. They will try to keep you under captivity, hold you hostage, make it so you don't have a car, you don't have money, you can't leave. They will financially abuse you, blackmail you, extort you. They will run your name through the mud, your reputation through the mud, every way that they can, so that you are powerless and no one will help you. That is their goal, is to make you a victim, to make you helpless, to make you vulnerable, and to make you afraid of everyone and everything that you once loved. Yeah, I'm going to tell everyone right now, Buddhism and Taoism had a lot to do with saving me and giving me the fortitude to get out of this mess. I do identify much wider spiritually than that currently, but the lessons that I learned through meditation and Vajrayana practice were very helpful in getting me out of that. So if anyone is wanting to get out of things like this, I don't normally do this, but my email's in the description box. If you just want to, drop a line, you need someone to talk to, you can relate or whatever, go ahead and drop me an email, alexandria@gmail.com, down in the description box. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the main targets, because there's multiple people who are targeted for different reasons by these groups, and it's normally because I'm just gonna say it. It sounds so silly to say, but they normally target people who don't get into trouble, but who are quiet, or who are different, or who don't really fit in, or who don't play the game. They go after the nonconformists. They go after the artsy ones. They go after the hippies. They go after the people of the LGBTQ variety. They definitely go after the mixed race people. They go after the women really, really hard, especially if they're divine feminine. They go after a whole lot of people that they want to just eliminate and eradicate out of their matrix. And they do target people based on genetics, based on classism, based on family lineage. Like, these people only view people as something to use and abuse. Like, not like we all have a right to live. Like, we know that we do. These people don't believe any of that. So, to start with, the main targets are those who are proposed to be spiritually gifted or observed with ESP or psychic abilities with links to royal bloodlines from the stars. I am one of said people who has been targeted for these reasons. We live in a matrix, literally to throw us off the scent of what the control oligarchs are really doing, which is setting up all these false scenarios so that you literally don't see reality for what it is, and so that you adhere to all these systems and they prey upon your insecurities and they use dark psychology against everyone, which is really, really, really awful. They're currently working on 8th generational warfare techniques featuring nanotech, 5G, AI powered psyops, and more, that they are literally seeding things into our air, our water, our food, our products, everything, getting nanobots into us through different means, and using 5G to employ those to change who we are and how we operate, and using AI to restructure how we react to natural communications and what have you. They're actually trying to reprogram an organic being into a synthesized, systematic being, like an automaton, and that's disgusting and vulgar, and they're trying to destroy your sentience, and I am here to help you, like, not fall for it. Okay, so there is lots of fraud and forgery done to the targets to make the targets destitute and to appear that they are of ill repute, to cover up the crimes of greed, lust, and domination and defamation committed against the target. Elaborate setups, starting at the family and community level, to build and enslave groups into a Truman Show-like diversion so that none of the victims catch on, is the main framework of each scenario that they will want to employ around a target. Like, here's an example. I married my high school sweetheart very young, and I went, and he was a Marine. I went and lived with him at his base and everything. He got out of the service. We went back to my hometown for a bit while figuring out what we're going to do. My family enacted this Truman Show on him and myself with my friends, sent people in to have affairs, start fights, make me look crazy, make me lose jobs, make him not want me, encourage him to cheat on me, all kinds of crazy stuff. And here's the thing. I knew none of it was authentic. When this happens to you, they're trying to make you fall into this trap where you, like, act psycho and they can, like, call someone and have you committed. And you know what? They'll lie and they'll do it anyway. It's been done to me more than once. There's no shame in their game. They're terrible people. But what they will do is they'll try to make you self-incriminate by acting crazy around you, doing illegal things around you. And let me be clear, I don't like to say this because I don't like to really go here on my channel, but I'm the mixed person out of a white family from a very rural area. It was very clear I was being lynched, okay? Now, no one wanted to admit that to themselves because of cognitive dissonance, and they all want to believe they're good people. They're good country people. No, you aren't. You tried to lynch the mixed kid who literally is smarter than you and more talented, and your white fragility got in the way. It makes me sick. Do all white people have white fragility? Absolutely not. But white supremacists do, and the white supremacists in my family have a problem with it. So before you yell at me about any of that, let me be clear. Not all white people are white supremacists, but white supremacists do in fact have white fragility. That felt good to say for the record. All right. Other than the elaborate setups, the next tier to the elaborate setups is the bribing of the illegal acts or the hush money, not only at the community and family level, but they go bribe the courthouse. They go bribe the cops. They go bribe businesses. They go bribe people who have more power than you to make it so that you cannot live on your own, so that you apparently die of your own, well, they just want you to believe you're not good enough, and they want everyone to believe that you died because you're not good enough, not because they set you up to kill you. Guess what? No one's buying that anymore, especially now that we have the collective story coming out online everywhere. This collective has had it. All right, so now that you know the basic features of the Tarot Adventure, I'm going to tell you a little bit about my story, and we'll conclude. Again, links in the description box for the ins and outs of this Tarot Adventure. Oh, it's wild. But anyway, childhood. I'm still sorting together what exactly is truly at the root of what's being hidden about me from me. But being abandoned by my mother, alleged mother, who I am relatively certain is not my mother, I think she stole me. That would explain her hatred of me. Having 4 legal guardians as a child, brought up in a very abusive cult-like environment. That corresponds with a government eugenics program that was done to highly gifted children who have like ESP and psychic abilities like I do, specifically starseed Earth Angel children. They wanted to see how we'd respond to abuse, if we would know we're truly special, if we'd know our true power, our true potential. So they were gonna do the most heinous shit to us, sacrifice us as children on satanic altars, have us on satanic altars, have voodoo dolls of us, torment us with voodoo dolls, do black magic, do graveyard magic, jar spells, love spells, try to mess with our intuition, try to mess with everything, have everyone around us acting crazy, being one way in front of our face, another way behind our back, and doing that to everyone they're around but differently and thinking they're never going to get caught. Let me tell you what, the only thing that will save you in this situation is being authentic. The only thing that will save you in this situation is not participating. I learned to act a little bit more like Daria Morgendorfer from Beavis and Butthead at a very early age than most would give me credit for. I learned, stand to the side. Don't mess with them. Those idiot people who care about being popular, who care about accolades, who care about trophies, they will gut you for a candy bar. That isn't worth it, boys and girls. So let's go ahead and fast forward to after a obnoxious childhood and relentless bullying and being beat up in middle school, go on to adolescence and dating, and feels like almost every boyfriend you get along with really, really well. Out of nowhere, some evil best friend goes in and sleeps with him or does something weird. And it's out of character, no one's acting themselves, and everyone's miserable afterward, and friend groups break up. You've been Truman Showed by this cult, coven, secret society, fraternal order, or government, whoever you want to blame. They also test direct energy weapons and shit on us. And by the way, direct energy weapons are black magic. Go into early adulthood, my first marriage. Like I told you before, there were some signs after I had gotten married and moved in with my husband that he wasn't exactly who he made himself out to be. He seemed to have some secrets, some darkness, but you know what? We were kids. I was 17, he was 19, we were young. I I figured we would grow up together, pull each other together, pull it together, because that's what we were supposed to do as a divine pairing. We were actually preordained from spirit to be together. That's why our union was targeted and torn apart. They literally made him confused about his sexuality. They sent people after him. They drugged him, raped him, sexually assaulted him, messed with his mind, brainwashed him, weaponized him, blackmailed him, extorted him. As far as I'm concerned, the person I married, they destroyed. That's why I walked away. I walked away not because I didn't love him anymore, but because he wasn't there. And it wasn't his fault that he wasn't there. Whatever this nightmare conspiracy is why all of this has happened and why everything isn't real. The peak nightmare phase was when they got him to they paid him to abuse me. They paid him to cheat on me. They paid him to sexually assault me. They paid him to starve me. They paid him to deprive me of transportation, things that I need. My family did this. And they did it with the inheritance money they stole from me that they needed him to help them with. My mother slept with my husband to steal from me and destroy my life. Apparently, because of this government program, and probably because she feels really guilty for kidnapping me as a child, and she's literally a serial killer who has not been caught yet. She lives in the West Virginia mountains like the crazy witch woman that she is. Anyway, I escaped. I started my life over. I went back to my small town where everyone was horrible to me, and unbeknownst to them, while they were laughing and chuckling behind my back about how they were torturing me, I was on the internet starting a new life they knew absolutely nothing about. I met new people, made new friends, met someone new, fell in love, got married, vanished. Yeah, only one state away. I, hopped over the line to Delaware and, whatever. But, after I got away, I, put in my abandonment paperwork. It took 5 years after separating from this nightmare to get an abandonment divorce. If any of you are ever in a situation where you're horribly abused and you're afraid of not having someone sign divorce papers or whatever, you can get an abandonment divorce like me. Every state has different rules, but if you are abandoned and you're like put in an abusive situation where you have to leave and this person is not going to negotiate with you, there are things that you can do, and it's not unaffordable. I did everything for under $300. Starting over, I've been processing a lot of the trauma with my current husband. And honestly, since being with me, he was a targeted individual before being with me, but he entered my target group after being with me. And we're both targeted. But unlike my first marriage, we know what's going on. We see this for what it is. We see them coming at us. We're older, we're wiser, we're in our 40s. We've been together a lot longer, and we stayed away from my hometown and my past a lot longer too. When I resurfaced and literally forgave everyone, had no hard feelings, and resurfaced back in my home state, my cousins and other people acted like they had seen a ghost. Why? Well, they filed fraudulent death papers and said I was dead to collect fake insurance money. That's why. I mean, these people will stop at nothing. They're all going to go down. They're all morons. I don't even understand what they were thinking. So by the time all of this is happening, I am in my late 20s, early 30s. So let's go ahead and talk about recovery and what it took to recover from this. Strong boundaries, living on my own terms, being authentic, being real, not being swayed by anyone. Putting spirituality and God first. Very important. Doing the right thing, ethics and morality first, regardless of what money, status, or pressure is at play. Super important to do that. Stay away from unsafe people. Once you know that people are unsafe, kindly explain to them why you have to, make some distance. And if that isn't safe to do, just make the distance anyway. The attacks very much resumed after I gained a bit more prominence and started going to college, getting awards and stuff. During my 30s, actually. And because I'm showing up online more, and my ex and family and friends are stalking me, they start setting out online attacks, cyberbullying, corrupting my new friends, turning my new friends against me, making fake profiles, trying to catfish me, making fake profiles of me to smear me to others that aren't me. Yeah. Wow. So it all ended, I would say, in after us getting through being forged by the fire and dealing with all of these attacks, we are now a new divine union, and we're on a mission. That's why I do OK Copernicus, is I'm spreading art, music, and philosophy and spiritual goodness to the world. I love what I do now. It means so much more than, you know, the life that I used to live. I would like to, you know, move this along to my mid to late 30s, where I really start focusing on, you know, going to school for philosophy, history, and art and music specifically. And I'm really starting to combine my classroom lessons with my real life lessons. And the Truman Show enters my college life at Liberal Arts College. And now I have professors and classmates and administrators in on the whole Truman Show, chaos magic, what on earth are you all thinking behavior. And do I think it's a coincidence that each school I went to closed their philosophy department? No, I don't think it's a coincidence. I think things like studying philosophy are now taboo because you can't be a hive mind if you have critical thinking skills like I do. After my programs were ruined, I started OK Copernicus in 2021 after leaving Juni out of college. Sayonara. And I left there right before my 40th birthday. And now in my 40s, all I do is I run OK Copernicus. I do whatever the good Lord tells me to do. And I just focus mostly on family life and starting working, doing things for New Earth, planning for the next phase in civilization, now that we're watching, you know, everything that we've ever known crumble before us and kind of not be the most useful. So being in my 40s, it's all been about leveling up. I guess being in this queen rising mode that the cards talk about, where you're not shying away from your power. People used to find me very, I guess, intimidating or whatever. And I used to be like, oh goodness, I don't want you to find me intimidating. Let me be a bit of a goober for you so that you like don't feel bad. I didn't know I was getting played. I thought I was like being nice to these people. Well, I'll never do that again. So I'm more than happy to not really mask myself, not really hide my light or anything else to make someone else feel comfortable. It's also been, being in my 40s, all been about leadership and service. It doesn't matter what I'm doing. It doesn't matter if it's art. It doesn't matter if it's music, video production, philosophy, my spiritual work, any of my oracle duties, any of it. It doesn't really matter to me. Leadership and service are something that literally I was born with. Like, it's just natural for me to just jump into a situation, like something needs to get done, let's go do it. All the people who did this to me, who made me a target and came at me because of this natural ability, and then being told by a bunch of liars from a false Luciferian, satanic, Armonic religion, like their whole Moloch worshiping crap is. But like, these people have been taught, I really do want to see this pamphlet that they're reading, that if you sacrifice someone with these gifts, God is going to give the gifts to the person who sacrificed it because you beat him with the demon system. That's not a thing, guys. I don't know, like, how high or drunk or whatever they got you, or what black magic they did on you before pitching you this notion that if you sacrifice someone, universal law will be overlooked And everything that you did evil, you will be blessed for because you did it in a way that no one thought it was you. Yeah, that's not real life, everyone. So everyone who joined in on these activities, either enabling, assisting, supporting these covert lynchings, that's all I'm going to call it, is a covert lynching, i.e. 21st century human sacrifice. Everyone who took part in this, your cognitive dissonance is no excuse. Your childhood wounds are no excuse. Your crap upbringing's no excuse. How much money you have in the bank is no excuse. People are priceless and money is fake. There's no excuse. And on that note, we've been here a bit, guys. I am going to explore more on this topic in future episodes. Our next episode, as promised, is about Tartaria. We're going to talk Tartaria. We're going to get some Tartaria links out. We're going to discuss hidden history, mud floods, and why Egypt wasn't super important until the 1800s. So, yeah, we're going to talk about that next time. And I want to thank you again for joining me. And I want to just let you all know that little break I took, everything that I'm processing, and when you go into the description box and look at the links, and you look at these card readings, and you read what myself and the rest of my collective of Earth Angels, Star Seeds, 144K, light workers, grid workers, chosen ones, when you see what was done to us, and who did it, and why they did it, you're going to find out that they literally did what they did because they have no self-esteem, they're insecure, they have feelings of inadequacy, and the echo chamber around them told them that there was no other way. Sounds a lot like a cult, doesn't it? Yeah, that sounds a little green flavor aid, purple Kool-Aid-y, a little bit. Just saying. This Jonestown type behavior, I'm surprised that it's even being tolerated, knowing all that we know. But since they've been trying to dumb down the public and kill us all off, well, those of us who are actually, good people, so they can make more clones and replicants. Oh, lordy. But that's another episode. So yeah, go check out the links, and thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget to come over and join me on supplemental broadcasts, and my first movie of the winter is out. 8/16/32 Classic Combinations is available on both the Copernican Records Rumble page and on YouTube, on the regular Alexandria YouTube. So definitely go check those out, and the individual videos for each scene is up for that too, with song links and downloads. So yeah, thank you everybody for being here, and it's been a pleasure as always. Now it's time for me to go hop on to my next task, but thank you so much again, everyone. Epitome out.